Hey, Alexia.
Hey, Foster.
How are you doing today?
I am fine. What about you?
I am doing great. Wonderful job with the Cambly advertisement. I liked your mente. Não, é totalmente, não é mesmo? I have never heard that one before.
Which one, Foster?
Mente.
No, but I was making a joke about all the mentes that I was saying
Yeah.
in the word.
I was just saying I've never heard that joke before.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So, Alexia, let's get straight to the point. We have been talking about business English, and then this week we are talking more specifically about branding, which is a subject you love.
Mm-hmm.
And more or less, we are just researching and brainstorming, doing a little personal MBA in branding and marketing for us personally, live on the air.
Yes, so this could go really bad or really good. We don't know.
Yeah, I think any person that was actually like a business consultant would say this is a terrible idea. This is a terrible adventure in branding.
Yeah, so today we are talking about the other points, right? The other What Great Brands Do by Denise Leon. And
Right.
we talked about the first 3 points yesterday. Now we are going to talk about the next 3 ones.
Right. The next 3. I would just say the next 3.
The next 3.
Perfect. Yeah, so we're talking about this book, What Great Brands Do. And point number 4, Alexia, do you want to start with point number 4? If I can get a little drum roll.
No.
We haven't had the drum roll in so long. Let's bring back
no one
the
is
drum roll.
missing that.
I'm missing that. Point number 4, great brands don't try to please everyone.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I think this is wonderful. We have, it's not an expression in English, but it's something that I hear people say. Certainly, my dad says this a lot, is you can't be everything to everyone, which is just kind of a southern redneck way to say you can't please everyone, right?
Yeah, this is to our personal life and professional life. That's for sure.
Yeah. So I think this is honestly something that we have struggled with in the past, because if you are just teaching English to Brazilians, that's like a huge market. There's so many Brazilians trying to learn English. There's so many potential things you could do, potential people you can help. And sometimes you just have to say, we can't please everyone.
Yeah, I think it's the hardest part for us because we want to try to help everyone. But Inglês no Cru Rádio and Inglês no Cru, like Sound School, we made for people who are in a specific niche.
Yeah, I would say niche.
Niche.
Yeah, so I would say Inglês no Cru and more specifically Sound School are designed for people that are intermediate to advanced learners, meaning that they can at least understand the majority of what we are saying, right? We speak almost exclusively in English in the show. We would have a lot more opportunities if we spoke more in Portuguese.
Yeah.
But that was kind of a decision we had to make, that there are a lot of resources for beginners just starting out with the language, and not as many for people really trying to improve their speaking, listening, accent, pronunciation.
Yeah. And speaking of that, it's really interesting. Interesting or interesting? Interesting. That Inglês no Cru Rádio, we have a specific niche. Sound School, another specific niche. And our Instagram is a completely different one as well. So we deal with a lot of groups in our lives.
Okay. What do you mean that they are different niches? Because that seems like a bad thing
No, it's not a bad thing. For example, Instagram, I see a lot of beginners talking to me and asking me things that they can't understand when they listen to Inglês no Rádio, you know? So we have different niches around there. Inglês no Rádio, we are talking here to people who already understand a little bit of English, like intermediate and advanced.
Intermediate.
Intermediate.
Yes, so a mistake that Alexia commits quite often, and almost all my students, is words that end in ate or ase. Many, many times we do not pronounce them as ate or ace. For example, Alexia always says purchase.
Purchase.
Purchase. Intermediate.
Intermediate.
Adequate.
Adequate.
Delicate.
Delicate.
There we go. Awesome.
And that's it. I think we deal with all the kinds of people in our different communication zones. Okay, so next, are we on the 5th? Yeah. Great brands adhere to their core ideology, even if it means saying no to enticing opportunities.
Okay, do you understand this one, Alexia?
No.
So let me explain. Great brands adhere to their core ideology. So do you understand adhere to?
No, I don't.
If you adhere to something, that means you subscribe to that way of thinking. You are not going to change. You are set in your ways. Does that make sense?
I think so. The problem is to their core ideology. What is core?
Core, that means the most center, the most principal part of your ideology.
Huh.
Yeah. So when they say great brands adhere to their core ideology, that means that great brands are going to focus on their principles, their most important fundamental principles, no matter what. Even if really enticing, exciting new opportunities are presented to them, they are still going to say, no, this is what we do. This is what we believe in. Boom.
Yeah. I don't think that we have an example in Inglês no Cru that we had to do that.
I have one.
Which one?
For example, when we originally started Sound School and even Inglês no Rádio. So the first few episodes of Inglês no Rádio, my idea was to do one episode in English and then more or less the exact same episode in Portuguese so that you could kind of directly translate everything. And it would be applicable for beginners, intermediate, or advanced students that way. And honestly, it was just way, way too much work. So we didn't do it. So we just did Inglês no Rádio in English. And that worked out pretty well. And then we started creating Sound School. And I decided to do the exact same thing. A video lesson, an entire lesson in Portuguese, and then the same thing in English. And then we decided to make Sound School 100% in English because this goes back to point number 4. You can't please everybody.
Yeah, good.
Okay, cool. So, Alexia, I think that is food for thought for today. Do you understand that phrase?
Uh-huh.
Food for thought?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
That we are done for today.
Yeah, but if I say something is food for thought,
you have a lot to think about.
Exactly. It's something that is feeding your mind, feeding your brain, your heart, and your soul.
Yes.
Yes. We need to work on not trying to please everyone while still pleasing everyone because we love everyone. Branding so much harder than I thought.
Okie dokie. So next episode, we are going to finish with this most important points of the branding experience.
Maybe. We'll see how the reactions are. If it's a complete disaster, we might just call it quits in the middle. No, we won't, because we lose well. Okay, we will see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.